Welcome back to the Steamboat Today Show. I am Casey Lane, and here with me is Todd.
Good morning, Casey.
Let's talk about chickens. So this is one of those things that I actually live out in South Route, and there's this really dumb rule in Stagecoach that you can't have chickens. We're working on that right now.
Good.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm going to have chickens. I don't care what you say. But and here in Steamboat, it's okay, right?
That is correct.
Awesome.
In the city limits, you can have up to 5 chickens. But that is if you don't live in a neighborhood that doesn't have an HOA or additional covenants.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, the city says it's okay. But like Stagecoach, you got to make sure that your HOA is okay with it as well.
Gotcha. Definitely. So you can have up to 5 chickens. Is that per person, per household?
That's per household.
Okay.
And, they've got some... I can't really speak on behalf of the city of Steamboat Springs, but if you need more, they've got some variances that you can allow for that. Keeping in mind that if you build your coop, you've got to make sure that it does meet all the setbacks and things of that nature.
Let's talk about coops. This is a cold climate up here. Mm-hmm. We, of course, have extremely cold winters. And what do you do with the chickens through the winter months?
So, if you have a good coop, at our house, so we live in South Route as well. We live in Phippsburg, and we have 7 hens.
Okay.
And we have a really just nicely insulated coop.
Okay.
On those nights that it gets 20, 30 below, we might turn on the heat lamp. Otherwise, they really keep it warm enough. If you have a nice insulated coop, they keep it warm enough. Make sure that you use a lot of litter, whatever you're using, straw or wood shavings or whatever for bedding. They can keep themselves pretty warm. Giving them treats once in a while of hot oatmeal.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Your chickens are spoiled.
Well, once in a while. It really helps. I don't recommend chicken noodle soup, though. They
don't like it.
No,
yeah.
they don't like that.
They're kind of weird, though. They will eat their own eggs, and if there's a wound on one of your chickens, the other ones will just go at it till it's gone.
Get it out there.
I know.
Absolutely.
I had a vet. I worked with vets for years, and my vet in Texas told me to put Vicks Vapor Rub on any kind of a wound. And the other chickens don't like the smell of eucalyptus, so eucalyptus oil would probably work as well. It works like a charm.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, so there's some useless chicken information, unless you have chickens, of course. So, if per person, how many chickens should you have?
A chicken lays an egg about every 26 hours.
Okay.
So does she lay one a day? No.
Great.
And this is, of course, during the summer when we've got enough photo period for the chicken to be laying eggs. She needs 14 to 16 hours of daylight in order to lay. My family of 4, we found that 5 hens weren't quite enough because we were getting behind. 7 hens, just about right for us.
Right. Do you guys eat eggs every day? Is this a pretty regular
thing? Most every day.
Okay.
Most every day. This morning I had my 2 perfect eggs over easy. What a way to start the day,
yeah.
right, Scott? Yeah.
One of the things I love about these free-range chickens and these organic chickens, when you feed your chickens and have your own chickens, you know what goes into those eggs. And I find that the yolk is always so much yellower and so much more flavorful than some, conveyor belt chicken egg.
Absolutely. Chickens that are truly out on the farm.
Right.
And they're foraging for weeds and getting in the flowers and bugs and everything. They get a beautiful deep golden yolk, and that's great. But people with allergies sometimes have issues with those eggs as well. If you're allergic to the weeds or something that the chicken has been foraging, be careful with that because you never know. That can affect people.
Yeah, I wonder if it's kind of like the bee pollen thing. If you long exposure to small amounts of those allergens from it could possibly help. I don't know. I'll have to ask one of these herbal medicine people that I know. So see what they say about it. So you've got an insulated house for them. You've got 5 to 7 chickens, depending on how many eggs you eat, of course, how much you want to eat eggs and everything. What kind of breeds are good for this climate here?
Anything that has feathers down around its feet or have excess feathers around its face, probably not a good choice.
Okay.
Most of the things that you're going to find here at our local feed stores, whether you go to Flat Tops Ranch Supply or you go to Elk River Pet and Ranch here in Routt County, you're going to find breeds that are probably pretty good. Wyandotte, you might find Buff Orpingtons are a good meat breed / egg-laying breed.
They're a bigger guy. They're a nice, bigger-sized chicken. They're smarter than the other chickens, too.
And they're pretty docile. They're pretty nice to work with. They're not going to be really aggressive. You can get New Hampshire Red or a Rhode Island Red. Both good egg layers, brown egg layers. Lots of different options.
There's a thing you guys might not know about chickens. Each breed of chicken lays its own color of egg. So it's kind of nice to have lots of different breeds because then you know which chicken's laying which eggs.
That's absolutely right. So we have one black Minorca. So Minorca is a white leg-ang breed. They're not too easy to find anymore, but she's kind of a neat chicken. She's black with a little white spot up on her face. She's a white egg layer. And we know that this winter she has not been producing very well because she's the only white egg layer we have.
Right.
We haven't gotten many white eggs. So, but it is fun. And you know, especially if you have kids, get an Americana or an Araucana, or they've crossed them now. They have an Easter egger bird that, you know, they might lay a light blue one or light green one or light pink one. And especially as Easter's coming up here, what a great thing to have is already colored eggs.
Exactly. And it is the time of year where you want to go get your baby chicks right about now, because it's going to take them a little while to start laying eggs. How long does it take from chick to egg laying?
Take a few months.
Okay.
About 4, 5, 6 months before they really start laying. If you get a chicken or chick in April, May, don't expect anything until about that fall. And then, of course,
it's going to slow down.
It's going to slow down because we've got the light thing. So timer on a light in your coop, coming on a couple hours in the morning, staying on a couple hours in the evening, can extend that season which your chickens are going to lay. Make sure that when you get those chicks, it's not the time to throw them out in the coop.
No.
Make sure you have them in a brooder, some sort of container that they can still move around in, something about the size of this table if you're going to get a couple chicks.
I find those little plastic swimming pools work very well for the babies.
Swimming pools, a big cardboard box, stock tank.
Nice. Yeah.
And chicks need to be warm. And the waters and things that you use for your adult chickens, you cannot use for your chicks. They have to be low. The chicks have to be able to access feed and water and make sure that they're warm. That's really the most important part.
Awesome. So it is your time to get chickens. You said Phippsburg do they have chicks right now?
I haven't been into the feed store in the last week or two, but I know they were ordering them and getting them in.
I haven't either, but I'll hit that up this weekend and let you know. But I'm pretty sure Elk River has some already. You can order them places too, but I find it's a lot better to get them locally. You can see the chick that you're getting and kind of tell they're fragile when they're really young like that.
Absolutely.
They're super fragile. The first time I got chickens, I wanted a dozen of them. We had a couple acres and everything. And so somebody told me, for every 6 you get an extra. Well, we ended up getting 18 chickens, and not one of them died.
Oh.
So we ended up with a huge
a lot
flock of chickens. I was planning for some of them to die, but so I'd say maybe don't do that unless you have lots of space.
Be cognizant of the good things that could happen, right?
Exactly. So as far as chickens, are they pretty easy to care for?
Pretty easy to care for, but you do need to make sure that they are cared for. There is some work associated with chicken. You've got to make sure they've got plenty of feed and water, high protein, 16% protein feed at least if you're going to have laying hen, fresh water that's not frozen, and it's also not too hot. Their coop has to be well ventilated. They need access to air. Of course, we want to make sure in Routt County they have access to the outside. We enjoy being outdoors, right, Casey?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to make sure our chickens enjoy being outdoors as well. But protected from predators.
Yes.
That's very important to note as well.
Ooh, we have predators here.
Absolutely. So there's
so many.
When you talk about caring for chickens, make sure that if you've got them in an outside run, that it's well protected with a hardware cloth or something of that nature that keeps weasels, anything small from coming in, anything big like your fox or coyote. And also, don't forget that we do have raptors in the area. And they can swoop in and grab a chicken just like that. So keeping it covered with a shade cloth or something like that in the summer is important as well. Collect those eggs every day and just make sure they're healthy and happy.
Yep, happy chickens lay happy eggs.
Absolutely, and delicious eggs.
That's right.
A lot of the Extension, so CSU Extension, who I work with, has a lot of information on eggs. The For Dummies series is one of my favorites, and Chicken Raising for Dummies is a fantastic book written by a gentleman who runs BackyardChickens.com out of California, and then an extension professional out of Missouri State University.
And it is, of course, Easter coming up, and they are awesome pets for your kids. And most of your pets are just pets, just like that. What a nice pet to have that actually produces you breakfast every day.
Absolutely. So. Making sure that your kids, after they've handled them, wash their hands good, because we don't want to transmit any diseases.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Casey.
Todd, and get out there and get some chickens. It's the right time of year. Of course, check your local covenants first, that way you don't get in trouble. So, well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages.